Alright lads and lasses, I'm Xcentric Racer, and we've got another Forza Motorsport 7 for you this time. This the XFRS. First race, we went to Spa. Now every single car you see here is an S-Class McLaren. First corner, and there was a lot of issues. There was a orange McLaren F1 GT that was spun round. Now yes, as you've noticed, there's a lot more people this time. Yes, we have gotten about 22 in this. Through a Rouge, my car was very scary. This MP4 is unbelievably fast down the straights. Absolutely blitzes many cars. Coming up to here, big dark braking zone. I do a unexpected dive on a 720S. I'm around the outside of a blue and white MP4. That MP4 is better through the corners. However, I've got a lot more acceleration coming down to the hairpin now. It just outbrakes itself. It's going to run wide, and when you're fighting this close, and you're going to be hung out to dry, and you're going to lose more than just time. Now following the battle from further back, this from the red and black 720s POV, it got a little bit boxed in by the blue and white MP4. There was a lot of M2Bs all over the place. Those are very fast, but very difficult to drive. This 720 is trying to defend from a regular liveried M2B. We're coming in the braking zone. Unfortunately, they get a bit connected together, so they're going to be run wide, and they're going to lose a heap of positions. But that one was just absolutely chaotic. You can see just how many cars are racing each other. The pack was so close together on this first lap, especially at Spa. Again, this is still from the same battle, just from a further back car's perspective. The two on the right there have a little bit of a collision, however it's not too bad. This blue and white 650 unfortunately just gets turned around, and when you do that, when you get turned around, a lot of time's going to be lost, a lot of positions as well. It is fighting back though on one of the M2Bs, goes up the inside, actually sticks it there, gets a very good run out of that corner, and manages to regain one of the positions that it lost. Further up, I think this was about 12th, I'm not too sure. This orange and black Mackie D's McLaren was coming under fire from one of the many M2Bs. They're really quick down the straight. This one was just far enough ahead, could just outrun it and keep the position under the heavy braking zone through the sort of chicanes. Behind as well, another M2B does a big dive up the inside, manages to get stops in front of the blue and white 650, and is now trying to overtake this orange and black one. The orange and black is going to go in the middle. He's going to be quite defensive, however not compromise himself too much. Again, further up the field, there was a McLaren F1. We did discourage these, however, we did allow some people to drive them. This one, I think, was involved in the first corner pile-up. So it was recovering time. It was coming under fire from two M2Bs whilst trying to look for a way past, back past, shall I say, of the red and black 650S or 570. I can't really tell. I think it's I haven't a clue. Anyway, the M2Bs down the sort of straight just have enough pace that you can just go around the outside. Again, a little bit later on, they're still following the grey and blue F1. You can see, actually to us you can see from the back that it was involved in the shunt. Gets overtaken by the white 650. That 650 is actually pretty... Oh, it's the blue and white one. The blue and white one was pretty good down the straight. Takes a interesting line through Eau Rouge. Well, at least I think anyway. The camera there is a bit funny. The F1 tried to look up the inside, thought better of it. Unfortunately, both cars outbrake themselves. The blue and white sort of gets in front of the F1. However, the F1 could just get on the brakes in time and just get the overtake through the next corner. Well, so that was happening. The orange and black Mackie D's 650 was actually able to catch up. If I do get 650, 570 wrong, I apologise. Further up the field again, the red and blue 570 was coming under fire from 3 people. This another 570 and 2 M2Bs. Like I said, the M2Bs are very quick. They're the ones really with the acceleration. They're packed too wide. The M2B just has to back off a little bit. The red, white and black 570 spotted an opportunity, tried to get his car there. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite do it. All 3 of them run wide. The track's to the left. And coming on the braking point, you can just see how close these 2 were. I think there was a little bit of contact between the red and blue 570 and the red, black and white 570. There was a lot of pushing and shoving this evening. I mean, to be honest, I'm not too surprised. A lot of people that signed up haven't played the game in a while, so we're sort of just getting back into the swing of things. Coming through Eau Rouge, the M2B gets a massive slide. Both of them have to take a much different line. To be honest, I'm not surprised. But the M2B has the straight line speed and will just be able to soar past. Well, I say soar past, not really. But the 570, keen to keep its position, will have a dive up the inside. Unfortunately, the M2B's acceleration is just a bit too much for it to regain its position, and the M2B can just help defend from it. I think this was further back. The blue and white one was now coming under threat from the Mackie D's. The Mackie D's is just going around the outside of this very fast double left-hander and was just able to make it. It was a very nice overtake, actually. Really well done. Especially when these aren't the easiest cars. It's easy to make mistakes. Excuse me. Further up, this F1 that was fighting its way through the field. I think this is on the final lap. Well, the final racing lap. And you can see up ahead, M2Bs are just fighting really close with each other. Trying to find a way past. I think that was the red, black and white 570. However, out the front, this orange 570 was just untouched. It managed to escape on lap 1 and just pulled a nice enough gap from me. Yeah, we were setting very similar lap times, actually. So first place, we go to LMP Yum in that 570. I would take second with the MP4, and Time to Die Zombie took third with a M2B. Second race, we went to Catalonia. As you saw at the start, one of the cars had a little bit of a difficulty getting off. That did ruin the pink 720. Coming down to turn 1, there was a little bit of contact. An M2B nearly got spun out. The yellow 570, 650, one of the MP4 clones, did get spun out. I'll try the best I can to avoid spinning it out. I just couldn't. This white one got a little bit of a breakaway, but was sort of involved in the first corner bumping, shall we say. Tried to go for a big dive up the inside of the blue 650. Couldn't quite do it. I went across the curb, get a big slide, immediately trying to defend my position from a M2B. I didn't manage to successfully. This white one is trying to defend from another M2B, one of the 570 650s. Ran wide, tried to stay out the way best I can. I go around the outside of an M2B. I'm going to go for a big dive up the inside of this white one. I missed a braking point slightly. Do tap the door of the F1. To be honest, I probably should have waited. However, this 650 does go across the grass. Tries to avoid hitting everyone. I think lightly taps this white one, the white M2B. However, the M2B is just able to get up the inside. One of the ones at the front, the wooden one, I think went across the curb, got tagged, went massively sideways, managed to hold it. That was very well done. And the M2Bs are very quick. They were very quick around here. And you can see they're just fighting amongst themselves. The blue 650 was keen to make an overtake back onto this white one. And around here, it's a very dangerous thing. The 650 gets a massive slide. It's a 570. Oh, I don't care. This orange 570 was coming under threat from 3 M2Bs. Make that 2. One of them one ride onto the sand. Was having an M2B around the outside, another one up the inside, and both of them are just able to out-accelerate it out the corner. Misses his braking point a little bit. I think probably either got tagged or locked the brakes. That allowed the blue 650 to dive up the inside, runs across the curb. The white one, the white 570, goes around the outside, and then the wooden one, the one that went very sideways, went round the outside of this or across the curbs. That was a very good overtake actually, and managed to dive up the inside of the hairpin of that white 570 650 thing. It's a 570, and yeah, just managed to get a very nice overtake. The blue 650 was in a swarm of M2Bs, goes across the curb, tries to catch it, but just gets a tank slapper that just puts them onto the sand, and they lose a bunch of positions. They're now having to try and fight back with an orange 570. This blue one though had a lot of straight line speed and was in a good enough position to dive up the inside, was very good on the brakes as well, and just regain that position against the orange 570, and was looking again to regain its position against that white 570. The white 570, you can see up ahead, was the back end was just stepping out a little bit, losing time. That allowed this one to catch up. It does tag the back of it, does let off to allow the white one to regain control. However, because of that, they both lost time, and that dragged the red, white and black one. That another 570, that then got drawn into the fight at the front, and yes, your eyes do not deceive you, that is the McLaren GT3 car in S-Class. And it was away at the front, this purple 570 650 thing. It's a McLaren clone. It's a 570. And expect that all the way through the episode. I'm going to get them messed up. Was up to the back of it. However, the GT3 had one big problem. It was on drag tyres. So tyre wear was an absolute killer. So it had to pit on, I think, lap 4. That would allow me and the pink and the purple car to just sail past. Further back, and these three McLarens was together for a little while. Actually, the blue one very quick down the straights. The red, white, and black was up the inside of the white 570. The blue one gets very bad line, is very compromised. The red, white, and black 570 tried to look for an overtake, however, the screen was just full of blue 650, so it thought better of it. Lost a little bit of time. That allowed the white 570 to catch up again. We're going single file through this left-hander. However, the 570 is very good on the brakes, very good around the corners. One of the cars just waited to let these guys pass. Whatever. But yeah, through the corners, the red, white, and black 570 was catching up to that 650. They were both dropping the white 570. And I think, yeah, he's gonna. He was just a bit too far back to try and get a move. Sorry, up the inside of that 650. But you can see just how close this car is through that twisty section. As we're coming up with the chicanes now, heavy on the braking, you can see it's almost completely plastered to the back of the blue 650. This was further back, this pink 720. This got involved in a start line crash, went into the back of the car that didn't get off the line in time, so I had to pit. I think I pitted anyway, had suspension damage, air wheel, things like that, and was trying to make up time. The 570 up ahead gets a very big slide. This 720 was very fast through the corners. It was incredibly good round there. However, because it's very fast around the corners, you know what that means. It's going to be compromised somewhere, and that's a straight line speed. However, the Catalunya has very fast, very long corners with big braking zones. That's going to favour the handling cars. The yellow and black 570 does actually lose its position to the M2, to the pink M2B. The pink M2B is trying to fight with the 720. The 720 though just has the acceleration, the handling, that it can keep it up the inside, but the M2B just has that straight line speed, that acceleration that it can get past down the straight, and it does outbrake itself a little bit. However, the pink 720 was just too far back to make the move. The field did have a sort of spread out phase. There wasn't much battling going on. This one was the closest for a little bit. The white GT4 liveried 570 was starting to come under threat from the white 650. This one without a livery. So that's how you can tell the difference. But yeah, the 650 tried to go up the inside of the very long right-hander. The 570 was just blocked that off. It was just in the way. The 650 though tried to go for a move up the inside. Again tagged the other corner this time of that 570. The GT3 on drag tyres came into the fight. However, both the white McLarens just tagged each other and went off the road. The silver and blue McLaren F1, silver and blue, grey and blue, sorry, did a very nice move up the inside of the orange and black 570. This one as well was involved in the starting line shunt, and I think this one actually did pit as well, so was keen to make up time. The orange and black does a very nice dive up the inside of the pink M2B. This F1 is coming up to the back now of one of the 570s, and yeah, I think that's the Mackie D's one. You can see through here, it's plastered to the back. But through there, when you're that close, especially when you're on the rear bumper, you can't really make a move. This F1 though had very high top speed and was very light as well, and was just able to outrun the Mackie D's McLaren down to turn 1, and was immediately trying to find a way past the white liveried 570. Again, the white liveried 570 gets a little bit sideways through that long right-hander. That allows the F1 just to gain time, start applying pressure. The 570 though is going very defensive. It's going to keep the car up the insides. However, because you're going to go defensive, you're going to be slow off that corner. The F1 is trying to look for a move around the outside, can't quite do it. The 570 just has enough grip. I think it's got even more grip than the F1. However, as we're coming down to a back straight, the F1 will be able to make up some time. Look, the white McLaren gets a little bit of a slide, dips a wheel on the sand, and as you can see in the background, the pink M2B is catching up to these two. So the McLaren F1 did get the position. The pink M2B did get connected with the white liveried 570. Out the front, this purple 570, once the GT3 car pitted, was just able to run its own race. I was catching it, however I was just too late. So Stevie would take victory with the pink 577 650 thing. I would take second in the 650, and Zombie Gent, I think that was, would take third in an M2B. Third and final race, we would head to Watkins again, the full circuit. This time, first corner, didn't have a death. As we're coming down to the S's, I do a very quick dive up the inside. I make up so many positions there. That puts me on the outside of an orange MP4. The grey and blue F1 just dips a wheel on the curbs and just spins it. As we're coming now into the bus stop, I'm going for a big dive up the inside of the white 570. However, cars span out in front of me, so I had to check up. Thankfully, the car behind me checked up as well, so that was well done to avoid a very big crash. However, that left me exposed for an attack from the Mackie D's 570. Couldn't quite do it. That meant though that the pink 720 was able to make an overtaking manoeuvre, was up the inside, and then just had the superior brakes. I'm trying to go around the outside of a purple M2B. The M2Bs were very tricky around here. I mean, they were tricky at the best of times, but when you've got a high-speed corners, they are very loose. As we're coming into the braking zone, I slightly tag the back of the M2B, so I let off to allow it to get back on the track. That means though that a stock liveried M2B is trying to look around the outside. The Mackie D's McLaren 570 is trying to look at the inside. As we go through this next corner, yep, that is an M2B spinning out in front of everyone. The police liveried 570 was going to do a cutback on me, but there was the spinning out M2B in the way. As we look at the battle further back, this pink 720 actually did quite like it here. These S's, it could take flat out, and it would gain a lot of time through that section. You can see it's going round the outside of a 3 wide round there. That's not easy, especially with cars this quick. As we're going through the bus stop, it's still on the outside. It actually does get the overtake on the red and chrome 570, so that was really well done, and was starting to catch up to the back of the police liveried 650. 570. And tried to go around the outside, couldn't quite do it. However, with its superior handling, immediately was plastered on the back again and was able to defend from the red and black 570, trying to regain its position. However, it couldn't quite do it, but down here the 720 was very slow down the straight in relation to the other cars. There was a little bit of an outbraking, and that had a domino effect. An orange-black 570, I think, had a little bit of a spin, but the 720 lost a lot of time, lost a few positions. However, through the corners, was just able to regain that time and would do a very nice cutback on the red and chrome 570. That 570 got a lot of neutral steer, and the 720's incredible handling just meant it could do a very nice cutback move. You can see that they're going 3 wide in front of this McLaren. Is going trying to look for a move up the inside of the police liveried 650 thing. I don't know anymore. 670. We'll go with that from now on. It does actually make the move, and what you can see, they're starting to catch up back to it. The red and chrome, red and black 670 did make a move on the police liveried 670. I'm just going to call them 670s now. It's a 570, but I don't know. The M2B gets a mighty jump. I imagine that was terrifying. The 720 was able to get up to the inside. However, couldn't make the pass because the wooden car was just able to get up the inside and out accelerate it coming down to the next corners. The McLaren, the pink one, was then coming under fire from the red and black. The police liveried 570 did fall back a little bit. However, it fell from one battle and immediately went into another battle. Was defending its position from the very sideways 670 and the Mackie D's 570. I know that one. The Mackie D's runs very wide, clatters the wall a little bit. No damage was done though, just lost a lot of time. The police livery looked like got a slight tag from the back by the red, white and black 570. Oh, these are 570s. However, no real time was lost. It just meant that the red, white and black 570 did lose out a position, and the Mackie D's 570 was very quick down the straight compared to the police liveried one, and was just able to go up the inside. The police livery was coming under fire from the red, white and black. Gets a little bit of sideways action. Both of them go very wide, have a little bit of a jump. The red and white and black goes up the inside. However, the police liveried one does a very nice cutback. However, the red, white and black again goes up the inside, gets a little bit of sideways. Well, the police one does, and the police liveried car does another cutback. Now that was very nicely driven. 2 cutbacks and 2 corners was very nicely done, and unfortunately missed the braking point and buggered it all the way. This was the battle, I think, for second at this point, and I was coming under fire from the stock liveried M2B, and the M2B had very good acceleration around here. However, as we come up the S's, you will see the main problem. The back end isn't planted, so it would step loose, run very wide through the left-hander, and would just clatter the wall. The white liveried 570, I think was in 5th at this point, and was coming under threat from the purple 570, the white liveried one. Does a little bit of a jump. I imagine it was less scary though than the wooden M2B's experience, because I mean that was an incredible amount of airtime. Did actually manage to collect it together though, so that was impressive. The purple one was a little bit too far back really to make any moves. It was just focusing on its own line, trying to gain as much time as possible to try and get a move done. I think there was a little bit of lag of replays there. The white one just runs a bit wide. Again, that's going to cost it time. The purple one was very close to the back of it now and was going to start looking for a way past. However, it does run wide. That allows the white liveried one to have a bit of a breather, but the purple one wasn't out of it just yet. Again, it's just focusing now on trying to regain time and eventually overtake the car. And again, it's just focusing on the run line. We go back now to the pink 720, and that was having a fight with red, white and black. 570 bobbles across the curb and is going to have a very compromised run coming up the S's. The pink 720 can take this section flat out. Is then immediately trying to look up the inside of an orange MP4. The MP4, however, just has enough straight line speed that it can pull away from this 570 and look up the inside of an M2B as they're going too wide through the bus stop. They're still too wide. The 720 gains a huge amount of time. He's immediately looking up the inside of the orange MP4. However, its lack of acceleration really would hurt it down that long right-hander. Couldn't really get up to the inside of this. And it didn't take much of a straight to hamper the 720. The 720s though, a little bit, well, they were an interesting choice and a good choice, do not get me wrong, but they weren't very popular because they already started out in R class, so you had to put the restrictor plate on it to get it down to S class, and you didn't have a lot of options there. The orange MP4 is trying to find a way past that wooden M2B, and through here they're battling. The pink 720 is trying to catch up, is trying to regain its position. You can see it's right on the back. I'm pretty sure it was pushing the MP4. However, it just ran out of time. At the front, I would take victory over the M2B that went for a bit of a sideways action. I managed to get through the field and was just able to stay out of trouble. So I would take the victory. Nick would take second, and I've forgotten the third one. I was too slow. My apologies. This one was a lot of fun, actually. The McLarens worked. It was a little bit on the rough side, but when people haven't played this game in a while and they're going into very fast cars, that's understandable. However, that is it from me. If you would like to take part, it's a little bit different now. The sign-ups are not on my Discord anymore. Instead, they are on the Fail Race Discord. I will leave a link in the description to that Discord if you want to take part. There will be information there on how to sign up for these. However, that is it from me. Till next time, ciao for now.